All right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this uh, afternoon with a word. I know I've been gone for a few days. I needed that release, needed that time away, I needed that time to rest. And I'm back with a word. And the title of this word that I'm about to bring forth is Walking in the Spirit. Walking in the Spirit. And this is a word from the Most High Yah to that one that's out there. This is for you. Walking in the Spirit is not what people are doing today. It's not what people are even aware of. And it's to a point where there's really nothing one wants to even be aware of, because the pleasure of walking in the way of the flesh is greater to many than walking in the way of the Spirit. You hear so many voices in the land, and all the voices is geared to everything outside of where one should be in this day and time, and it is walking in the Spirit. I, Sister Deborah, will and shall not look forward to really uniting or getting to know, or really to really how would I say it, look for that type of individual. uh Too many voices in the land. It's leading people everywhere outside of where they need to be or they should be. um I know that the tribe of Judah find themselves everywhere outside of where they should be or they could have been. But being so, they took this newfound belief and this newfound awakening, and they took it in the direction that is the opposite of who the Most High Yah is, who the Most High Yah was, and who the Most High Yah shall be in the days to come. Judah tend to take the Most High Yah out of the total order in which many are fully aware that the Most High Yah rests therein. Let me say this. Judah have profaned the Most High name in so many ways to where no one could really look to Judah for anything. Judah is so embedded in their newfound religion called the Hebrew Israelite. And they have formed it into a religion, a cult, a organization. And none of it has the spirit of Yah resting therein. They turned it into a religion, a denomination, a belief, everything they could possibly turn it into outside of what should have been applied to them in turning their awakening into a awakening. To me, it's so sickening to me to where I cannot get within me to understand why wouldn't Judah turn to the awakening in a form of awakening to the Creator Himself. What happened along the line that they felt that it was best to take this awakening and make it a denomination, a religion, a form of belief, a form of uh, uh, of of something that doesn't benefit the spiritual realm. And they took it and they made it exactly like the forefathers in time past in the old. When Yah say go left, they go right. Yah say go up, they go down. Judah has always, along with Israel, not wanting to fall under Abraham's, Isaac, and Jacob's Yah. They always wanted their own God. They always wanted their own belief, their own understanding. And here we are today. If we had to take 100% of Judah, you be out of 100%, you might get 8% that would say that they are awakened, but another 4% that lives out that living as if they are awake. So you're going still down to 4%. It's a sad thing that they couldn't take the ideal of awakening and awaken in Yah, awaken to the Most High Yah. Because once you are awakened to the Most High Yah, then Yah lives in you and begin to teach you, lead you, guide you, comfort you, show you things to come, reveal things to you. And again, teach you all things. This is where you know that Judah did not awaken, because any type of awakening that should take place amongst a people should be awakened to the one that allowed you to be at sleep. You see, what I mean is, if Yah put you in a situation to where partial, he said, where you lost your identity, you lost really who you were, and you really lost this and all of that, and you've been sleep. It's like you've been sleep, as they said. When you wake up, why are you waking up to the flesh and not the spirit? See, when you wake up, if you wake up to the spirit, then you wake up connected to the Most High Yah, and then he'll take you from here to, to teach you and show you and reveal things to you and to comfort you. But what they did is Judah woke up to the flesh. And that's why today they still as lost can get. I'm serious. They still the lost. If you took 100% of Judah, 4% that says they are awakened, they're more so lost, worse than they have ever been before they was even awakened. So Sister Deborah is going to title this message, Walking in the Spirit. Had they awakened to walk in the Spirit, then one would see, and more would see, the light. Judah would be the light that set upon a hill that cannot be hidden. Judah would be the one that would show the other house of Israel the way of the light, the way of spirit and truth. But Judah awakened to stupidity. They awakened to the flesh, to where we the people, we the children, we the true Jews, we the Hebrew Israelites, all of those things that they're speaking of is flesh. Many of you all have no idea. That's all flesh. That has no connection to the spirit. I would have wanted to see them awaking to the spirit, because the spirit would have been the light that the world now see. You see, we would have him to lead us, to guide us, to show us and teach us, and to get us back on course. But what we do, we went the way of the flesh in this newfound awakening that the tribe of Judah seems to believe they have awakened. Instead, they have awakened to strong, hardcore stupidity. to the flesh. And the number one thing is making themselves kings, rulers, and leaders. Of what? Flesh. It means nothing to be a king in the flesh, a ruler in the flesh, a leader in the flesh. It's vain and vax. It is worthless. As a people that call themselves some connection to the Most High Yah, but you awaken in the flesh. What are you doing in the spirit? So this is what led me to talk about this topic. I started my message and my study around walking in the spirit, but the Most High Yah took me back to the beginning. And as I have taught, if you miss the beginning, you're going to miss the whole book. Okay? That is your study guide. But you're going to miss what Sister Deborah called in her the word in its fullness. If you miss the beginning. So the title of this message is Walking in the Spirit. Judah have no idea what I'm about to speak on. If Judah get a hold of this message and hear it, she still could be lost with the cause and without. Why? Because their newfound religion, their new denomination, and their new awakening is about the flesh. Nothing on this earth is greater than the spirit. Because what people did not know, that Yah had created the spirit realm, was created to live in the flesh, not the flesh realm. So when you don't have the spirit realm, you're lost in the flesh realm, with having the flesh realm and then having it to override the spirit realm. So this is why I say Judah is totally lost. He is worthless. Okay. So let's go. And I had to back out of my study to go into what the Spirit led me to. And he wanted me to go to Genesis, okay, in the beginning. And he wanted me to start right there to kind of give you all some mystery. No, it's not even a mystery. Yeah, it could be. That when the ball was dropped, it really was dropped to the point where no one in the Hebrew Israelite movement, in any sanctuary, temple, no pastor, no bishop, no priest, no apostle, no prophet, no prophetess, no Maureen, no seer, no watchman are willing or have the willingly heart, which is spirit, to go back and pick it up, to bring it forward. I, Sister Deborah, it's not my power that rests therein, but the Ruach HaKodesh that lives in me, that's suffering me to go back to bring it forward. Okay? Because of, in this end day, that which was in the dark for all these thousands of years shall come to the light in the last day. So what Yah is doing, he's bringing light out of the midst of darkness. Not to change darkness, not to cause darkness to gain anything. It is to get the victory of the end, like he has it in the beginning. The light of the end has to be shown to be his power coming out of darkness. And it should set you to the mindset that you don't know nothing, because he's bringing light out of darkness in this end day. So this is what this message is going to do. So when you get to Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15, this is the will of the Father, to bring this light out of the darkness. And he wants me to go to Genesis 15 and Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15, and it reads, "And I would put enmity between thee and the woman, between thy seed and her seed. it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Here is where the Christian, the Catholics, every religion that take on the King James Version, the King James Bible, or a Bible, they tend to not understand Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. But somebody like me, I look at it as what he told me. He said, if they drop the ball, Deborah, in Genesis 1, verse 26, 27, and 28, they have dropped the whole ball. That means they can't go in this study guide and pick up the ball. It's been dropped. And that's how long it has been dropped since the beginning. So he taking me back to the beginning in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And I would put enmity between thy seed and the woman's seed. Between thy seed, I would put enmity between thy and the woman. Between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. There it explained the twos. Here is the twos, right here in Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15. The twos is thy and the woman's seed, meaning he's speaking to the serpent. He said, thy seed and the woman's seed. There go two. Okay. He says, he's put enmity between the woman and the serpent. Okay. Then that's two. And then it got on here, and thou shalt bruise thy head and the heel. There go the head and the heel, two. You see twos in this whole one verse. You see twos 3 times. You see the twos 3 times. The key in the mystery is the twos. The twos is showing you how he's actually letting you see what is written in the kingdom, how heavens has orchestrated the twos on the earth. Okay, so here in verse 15, he's showing you to the serpent seed and the woman, I'm putting enmity between the both, and that is hate. Enmity is hate. So the woman seed is going to hate the serpent seed. First and foremost, like to let you know, this woman seed does not mean female. Okay. This woman's seed does not mean the Messiah, Mary. That's not what it's saying. This woman's seed represents the spiritual seed. Okay. Because man dropped the ball back in Genesis and they did not see where in the creation was male and female, which represent feminine and masculine. They did not see that when he said, let us make man in our image and in our likeness. And in that image and in our likeness, you first have to understand making them in his image only stood for a spirit. Okay. 99.20 billion trillion time 99 trillion time 24 trillion. Never would get this. Okay, because when the Ruach comes, he's coming to teach you all things. The reason why he's going to teach you all things, because man has tampered with all things. That is true. So he has to come in you to kind of clear up the things that man has lied about all these years. That's why in this end day, he said, that which is in the dark shall come to light in the last days. We're in that last days, and Yah is in the working of bringing light out of the darkness that people have understood to be wrong all this time. So what the Father is saying to me here is in Genesis chapter 3, explaining to them that these are the twos. There are 2 different seeds that's on the earth. Okay. And each seed is, the seeds are representing 2 different spirits of individuals. Okay. And it's also letting you know that enmity is not just what they're going to be doing against each other. They're going to be at each other, where one is going to get their head bruised and the other one is going to get their heel. because the heel is what's going to be crushing the head. The head is where we think, we thought, and we make plans and we do things. And the heel is the steps in which Yah has ordered. Okay. So the seed of the woman has steps that Yah has ordered. Okay. And the serpent has a plan in his head. So her heel, the heel of the seed of the woman, and it's not talking about a woman as far as female. It's speaking of spiritual. Going back to what I was explaining to you, I think I went all off. Is in the beginning, his image represented something. His Yah's image. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And Yah said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls, and over the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. Right then, when he was saying them having his image, their image of what he created them to be of is his image. Okay. And that image were to rule together. See, the man and woman was to rule this earth together. So I'm showing you how long man has tampered in this book and stolen woman's identity. That's why you see so many men trying to take the role of a woman. That's why men are loving more men than women. And no one does the study, no one does the facts. But the truth is that men or lovers are men. You see? And they turned the natural use of the woman into that which is unseen, because they fell in love with the ways that they were having toward man on man, to where they turned the natural use of the woman into that which is unseen. So now the women, like unto the men, start interfering with the women. Okay. But the word use, what do you mean the natural use? The way you created the woman, they turned that out of the natural use, and they wanted the pleasure with the man. So they turned the woman pleasure like into the way they pleasured a man. Loving each other in their way, they turned the natural use of the way a woman was supposed to be loved by a man. They turned her natural way. One of them was rectum. That's what the men were doing. Rectum transferring with one another. They did that. Then they flipped it onto the woman. Okay. Taking the natural use, in a way, a man and woman are to have sexual intercourse, and made it unnatural use, because they were loving each other a certain way. They turned it also into a way that's not accepted in Yah. So all this rectum and this oral sex, Yah, you are the Satan's demons for sure. You can say, get the love and get the feeling now, because hell is bound for you. Okay. So here in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 21, Yah is saying, let us make them in our image. Then you get to verse 27, it says, and Yah created man in his own image. In the image of Yah created him, male and female. That's the image of Yah. Yah is feminine and masculine. So going back, Yah is feminine and masculine. And because man stole woman's identity and took it from her, and they made Yah masculine. No, he's feminine and masculine. Where did male and female come from? Where did feminine and masculine come from? The image of Yah. Y'all want to make everything a lie. The image of Yah. Okay. So there was never going to be no other image on the earth outside of male and female. That's the image of Yah. Why they don't get it, I don't get it. Father, they just really made you out of the opposite of everything. So here, when he's in the speaking to the serpent, he's telling them, I'm gonna put intimacy between you and thee, and to the serpent, thee and the woman. This means not a female entity, you guys. This means a spiritual entity. Okay? He's letting the serpent know that you gonna be one thing, you're a spirit, and this here woman is a spirit. I'm put intimacy between thee. Okay? Your seed, serpent, and the spiritual seed. The spiritual seed is gonna bruise your head, and you're gonna bruise his heel. Okay? So he's showing you it's not a male nor female thing. He's wanting us to understand, because they dropped the ball in Genesis and they reject informing you all in their teaching that Yah's image is masculine and feminine, meaning male and female. Okay? We didn't get male and female down on the earth, Yah. Male and female was the image of Yah. That's how something as simple as that, how could it have been hidden in the dark this long? How could what I'm about to say in Genesis 3 and 15 been hidden in the dark this long? Thousands of years. Only one can do that is the Most High Yah. Okay? In verse 15, he's letting them know that the kingdom has orchestrated twos to come down. Okay? You either one or the other. Okay? The reason where you see that thou shall bruise, it says, and it shall bruise thy head, letting him know that something is going to bruise his head, the serpent. And then he said, and thou shall bruise his heel. And thou shall bruise his heel. A lot of people like to take it for Yeshua in Gethsemane, and he crushed the serpent head, or Yeshua in the garden. It's Gethsemane, where he stepped on the head of the serpent, and when he crushed the head of the serpent, this is what this is fulfilling. No. He's letting you know the word intimacy. Intimacy is hate. And then he pulled it up to show you a prime example. Cain and Abel. You see? So he's letting you know that the seeds are real, coming from heaven, from the kingdom, as one is the dark seed and one is the light seed. They're coming for real to the earth, and they're coming in flesh form. Okay? This is why a lot of people want to take Genesis 6, chapter 1, and they want to make it as if the giants having sex with the women. All that is a lie. All of that is a lie. It was the sons of Yah that was supposed to have been down watching over the earth. Instead, they saw what the flesh of men were doing, selling their daughters' bodies off, and they decided to take on the same thing. You know it was the body because they took on them to have sex, to have children. You see? So you don't get it why today it's like until the days of Noah. It's because sex trafficking is the number one thing that's going on in the world today, and the fathers could care less. They have no feel that their daughters are out here, nor their sons, but their daughters are out here being sold over to this darkness. Now watch this. So as we in Genesis 3 and 15, he's telling the serpent that the heel represent the feet. Okay, the foot. Okay, and the head is representing Satan's head. Any serpent, one way you can destroy a serpent is to crush his head. You can take a hammer and hammer his head, or a bat and hit his head, just crush it. And what he's saying here, that the heel will be bruised. So what is going on is he's letting the serpent understand your plan is in your head. You got a plan in your head, but it's going to be crushed by the heel of the spiritual ones. Why? Because I have ordered their steps from the kingdom. The heel of the spiritual seed has been ordered by Yah. Satan coming after that order. Satan is coming after his plan in his head is to come after the spiritual ones. Because he knows that the mission is in them. The steps has been ordered of a good man, in a good man. So he knows that. So he's telling them how your head is going to get bruised because each time you come after those who have been ordered, they're going to crush your head, meaning your plan. Every time. Oh, yes, you're going to wound their heel. Why? Because we're in flesh as well as spirit. And each time he's coming after us, it's the order that Yah has planned for us. It bruises our heel because we have to crush his plan. So the things that's happening to those that are ordered, that Yah has ordered their steps, and the reason why their steps has been ordered, but in spite of their steps being ordered, it's always a wound. It's always them getting wounded. They're following Yah's steps that he has ordered. But in this old living, there's always something coming up against us. That's our heel. That's meaning that the darkness and Satan's seed is after our heel. Because our steps that Yah has ordered in our lives, in our living, and in our spirit are ordered. So he's coming after the steps that is ordered, and we have to crush his head every time. We're going to, not like it's really our power, it's the Father. But he's letting the serpent know yours going to get crushed. Your head going to get crushed every time. Yeah, it might cause them to stumble. Let's give an example. Let's say, for instance, if Yah has ordered my steps, okay, and my order was that, okay, at 16, 17, 18, I was on drugs because the serpent has been after my steps, which is the order that Yah has ordered my steps, thinking he was going to stop the order itself. You see? And by me being on drugs, that's the heel that's bruised, meaning the steps have been tampered with, has been my heel has been bruised because the one that got the head, which is the serpent, been after my heel, because my heel represent the steps that Yah has ordered. That's why people it's hard for people to really walk in the light because they think about all they did in the past. Those were bruises. Okay. But only bruise, baby. It wasn't stopped. It wasn't to come to destroy the steps that Yah has fully ordered in your life. Oh no, Satan can't stop it. That's why his head get crushed and your heel get bruised. We go through different things in life and different things happen to us and we get tied up in the world and in darkness. But in it all, there's an order that has been is an order that has been given by Yah. And that is your steps has been ordered by Yah. So no matter what you do, how you do it, which way it goes, you're going to fall right back in line because those were the bruise that Satan went after. And to keep Satan off, you had to constantly keep stepping on his head, and it causes you to fall backwards. You see, but it don't mean you can't go forward because your steps has been ordered. You got to get up, brush it off, and keep walking in the steps that has been ordered in your life, in your living, in your life. Okay, so this is the reason why the steps, and now you about to go into here and get a full understanding of how important the feet plays a role. You cannot walk without heel. You cannot, how would I say, walk without your feet. You see, you can take some crutches, but that ain't gonna do it. Okay, so what I'm trying to get you to see is where Yah wanted me to take you back to Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15 to show you that where the heel represents the steps that Yah has ordered in your life, and the head of Satan is where his thought pattern, his plan to destroy you, you're going to end up crushing his plan every time because Yah has ordered your steps in him, and your steps is your feet that make you got to get it in the spiritual mindset that's crushing his head every time he thinking he's going after you. Okay, after what Yah has ordered in your life. It's another example. Even when you use Yeshua HaMashiach going to Calvary, you know, he thought he had a plan that he's going to be able to destroy him, but look how it was all about. It was to redeem us. It was for all man's sins that we done in the midst of Satan. All sin on the earth. So he was so dumb, he didn't have no idea that he was helping out the mission. Because the mission must go on because heaven had ordered the steps of Yeshua HaMashiach. You see? So what it did is to redeem Yah's back to him. He had no idea Satan had no idea that that's what it would do. Okay? So when you get to, let's go to Psalms. When I get to Psalms, I'm going to let you see where the heel plays a role in your spiritual, in your walking in the spirit. Okay? The topic of this message is walk in the spirit. Psalms 119. Psalms 119. We're going to verse 105. In Psalms 119 and verse 105, it says, Thy word is a lamp. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet. See? The word of Yah is a lamp unto my feet. You see? And a light unto my path. See what the word is. But let me explain to you, they dropped the ball on the word. Because David is talking about in Psalms 119 and verse 105, he's talking about the word. Do you really believe David is talking about this Bible? All the lost books, all the found books. Do you really think David is talking about the scrolls? No. David is talking about Yah. When man, and I'm not speaking of male, when man could understand that the word is the Father. The word is what sits on the throne. The word is what is all power. The word is, was, and shall be. The word is the one that says, I am that I am. I can be this, I am this, I am this, I am this, I am that. What people did not understand and where the ball was dropped, they did not have respect in the word. In the beginning was the word. The word spoke, and the power of that which spoke brought forth. The power and word works together, hand in hand. You got a left hand and you got a right hand. Well, that's how the word and the power of the Father works. Okay? The word speak it, and the power bring whatever the word speak forth. Okay? That's what they missed in Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, all the way down to the whole Genesis chapter 1. Even when it got to everything he created in Genesis chapter 2, they still cannot see that the word is the Father. Let's go to the Gospel of John chapter 1. A place that many of us have gone time after time, but still is lost with the cause and without. In the beginning, in the Gospel of John, in the beginning was the Word. There we go. And the Word was with Yah. And the Word was Yah. And the same was in the beginning with Yah. Well, what do you mean, Deborah? You first have to understand and believe that Yah is the Word before anything was created. They don't. This is why you can't have the name, y'all. You can't have his name. You can't teach and preach his name when you understand not the Word, the power, nor the Spirit, nor the Father, nor the I am. You don't understand none of that. Why? Because when the Hebrew Israelites started their journey, they made it about a religion, a denomination. They made it personal based on the flesh. They never took the realm to the spirit till we can understand and really awaken. How do we really awaken? To spirit and truth with the light in our right hand. That's the only way you can awaken. You cannot awaken to the stupidity that they have awakened to and called it awakening. You have to awaken to spirit and truth with the light in your right hand. And spirit and truth is the Most High. We got to awaken to him first and foremost. Didn't it say, seek ye the kingdom first? See, they don't grip that. Judah don't grip anything. And this is not something Judah was when he got over to the land of their captive. They've been this since the beginning. So I'm trying to figure out, how would they ever make it home? How would they ever make it home? It's because those who are the spiritual seed, which he started in Genesis chapter 3 and 15, that's home. Those that are the spiritual seed makes it home. Those that are the serpent seed makes it not home. Home is the bosom of the Father. It's his spirit living in you and teaching you, revealing things to you, comforting you, giving you the power, bringing things to your remembrance. That's who the Father is, all that in you. That's spirit and truth speaking through you with the light, bringing all kind of things out of the midst of darkness. So when you hear the Gospel of John, and it's actually saying to you, in the beginning, oh my, I turned it off my page. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah. So how you gonna know Yah's name not knowing he is the Word? You see what I'm saying? And in verse 2 said the same was in the beginning with Yah. What was with Yah? The Word. Because he is the Word. We're just reading words out of books. And even with the Hebrew Israelite movements and Judah, they claim that all the other books are high and mighty. And they don't even have the Word. They have not the Word, but they have all these books, which is the words. So he say unto me, Deborah, it's okay. It's okay. None of the books they have will lead them to me. So it's okay. See, that's what a lot of people didn't get and still don't get. I don't care if it's Enoch, not Ian, or whatever. If you don't have the Word living in you, you don't have his name, you don't have the Word, you don't have the power. You see, you do not have his Ruach HaKodesh. So therefore, you got to go back to the drawing board. Do that mean I don't have the seed, the spiritual seed? The spiritual seed of Yah dwells in us. Let's go. Psalms 119, verse 105. Thy word, there go that word, is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold up now, hold up. You mean to tell me David sound like the Ruach? He got the Ruach. Yes, he does. See, that's something they did not teach y'all. And they're not going to. It's too late. It's over. Psalms 119 in verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet. Why? Because I ordered your steps in my word. Mm. And a light unto my path. A spirit. It's a spirit that leads me in my path. So all these things about people saying they got the Ruach, they got the Holy Spirit, they got this gift, they got this, or they called to do this and called to do that. You know what? They are lost with the cause and without. Because they're doing all of this claiming and naming it without Yah, the word, the power, and his spirit. They're doing all of this in fullness of denying the light, the word, spirit, and truth, righteous belief. When I hear all these Hebrew Israelites on this devil platform, not one go enter their in the word. They don't go in, they don't go nowhere near it. Because they so loaded with words to the word that lives in them to come to teach them the words in which they are studying. They don't have the sense because the sense don't have them. They are without Yah in them. And they teaching the mass and the multitude. So if you go into Psalms 119, verse 105, you see the word is a lamp unto my feet. Going back to Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, and he says here, and told the serpent, and thy head shall be bruised, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Why are you bruising his heel, serpent? Because you're going after the light. Because Yah has ordered his steps. And way we step is by our feet. You see? He leads us. He guides us. He shows us the way. Those are all spiritual connection. Don't think David is telling you that the lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. He's showing you that Yah has the full guidance of the steps that he has ordered in your life. That's what David is saying. And he calling him the word. Love that. David calling him the word. See how beautiful that is? So when you get to Micah, chapter 6, verse 8. When I get to Micah, chapter 6, verse 8, it says, he has shown thee, O man, what is good, and what doeth Yah require of thee, but to do justly, and to give mercy, and to walk humbled with thy Yah. To walk humble with thy Yah. What is he speaking? Spiritual. Something that we have fully denied. We have fully denied everything Yah is consist of. He's consist of the word, the spirit, all power. He is the creator. He is our father of all creation. And we deny the power therein that makes him all that he is, all that he was, hallelujah, and all that he's going to be is what we deny. And that's why the Hebrew Israelites can have their own self-religion and movement and cult and denomination without the power, without the word, and without the spirit of Yah. And it'll be okay. Yah don't have no problem because heaven has orchestrated the beginning to the end. That means he has two separate books, two separate directions in the kingdom. And these directions starts from the beginning to the end. The end lock you in to what he have you already written in the beginning. Hello. Okay. So in Micah chapter 6, verse 8, he says, he has shown thee, O man, what is good. And what doeth Yah require of thee? What do he require of thee? But to do justly, mean righteous, and to love, it says love, but to give mercy, okay, and to walk humbly with thy Yah. Humble means you have to have a spirit of humbleness when it comes to the Yah. You got to come low because you're in flesh. So you have to recognize him as high and you are low. You got to humble yourself before Yah. Okay. And when you're walking with him, that's how you have to remain humbled, low. Okay. So when you get to 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7. In 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 7, it reads, for we walk by faith. Now we know faith is the substance of things unseen, but yet believed. So how is it that we're walking in something we have not seen? Because you can't walk in it. It's spiritual. So what I'm learning is that we have gotten so far away from spirit and truth, the things that are spiritual, the things that rest in light, to where we're just walking in this day and time in everything darkness and calling it. We tend to call it light, and we're walking in spirit. But here it says, 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 7, for we walk by faith, not by sight. It's letting you know that faith is a substance of things unseen. So you're walking by this that is unseen, not by the sight in which you see it. Praise the Most High Yah. That's taking everything away from the way that you want to portray. You know how things are supposed to be, and you know how things is. No, you don't. Because until you have been taught what took place before the foundation of the world, you don't know nothing. So you need to get with somebody that he has told and taught, so that while that individual are pulling light out of darkness, you can see the light for what it is, and stop running around here assuming you is the light, you know. So here in 2 Corinthians in 5 and 7, for we walk by faith. We know faith can't be seen. So what is this walk? Spiritual. Faith is spiritual. Walk is spiritual. So when I'm saying walk in the spirit, it's speaking of your spirit. Stay in tune with Yah. Your spirit is to walk in the spirit. Okay, so it says walk by faith. We know faith is a substance of things unseen, but yet believed. So it's not something that we in the flesh can walk by. So we have to understand what it's trying to line us back, putting us back in order. Okay, not by sight. By sight means flesh. Letting you know, not by your flesh do you walk in. You walk in that which is unseen. Okay, so that leads me to explain to you all it's a spiritual walk. Okay, so when we say and walking in the spirit, you have to understand it's a spiritual walk. And what happens is the spiritual walk seems to fold out in the natural, you see. But what Yah is more so tagging in on, that we keep the walk of the spirit, that we know the walk of the flesh. The flesh would eventually, wing on in with the spirit. That's how it works, y'all, in case y'all didn't know that. It's not the flesh teaches the spirit, it's the spirit that teaches the flesh. Okay, your spirit teaches your flesh, not your flesh teaches your spirit, because the spirit is what's eternal. The flesh is just dirt. Okay, so it's no such thing as your flesh ruling everything, like people got their flesh ruling everything because they are born of the flesh, and they're born of the flesh to rule, let the flesh rule them, because the flesh of the spirit is representing the flesh. It don't come to represent the spirit of Yah, of anything righteous and anything good. It lets the flesh have its way because it's the way of the flesh. It comes down here that way. So in Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16, in Galatians chapter 5 and verse 15, it reads, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." See, he's trying, even in Second Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 7, when he said walk by the faith, that's spirit, and then he said not by the sight, that's flesh. He's letting you know that this walk is strictly spirit, you guys. It is not a way that you can find to walk. And that's what people tend to do. Like I be talking about how people say, I got my ticket, I got mine, I know that's that flesh whirring up to keep you from realizing you are not who you think you are. That's all it's doing. Your flesh is your worst enemy. It ain't your best friend. Okay. So in Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16, "This I say then, walk in the spirit." Okay, there you go. "And ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." He's letting you know that it's either you're going to walk in the spirit and not let the flesh have its way. And how you do that is when you are born of the spirit. Your ways that's in your spirit is going to taint your flesh. Is it going to taint it 100? No. Enough to let you still be able to walk in the spirit, that which has ordered your step as the lamp and the light to your way. Okay? So I like that in Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16, because it says, "This I say then, walk in the spirit." And this spirit is Yah. This is not your spirit. This is your walk, is your spirit. But the capital spirit is Yah. So it's letting you know this is the mission of the spirit. You know how he said, "We fight not against flesh and blood, but principality in high places." Even with that, somewhere along the line, there should have been a lot of things said to inform people that the battle is not in the flesh, to the point where everything is in the spirit, because this is exactly what it's saying. It's actually letting you know the true things that's taking place. When we see what we see in the earth, you're looking at what you see, but the true fact is what is unseen, that's realer than what you see. Oh, Father, no, you didn't go there. Yes, you did, Deborah. So it's the things that you see. Just imagine it's greater in what you cannot see, because the truth is in what you see now. And what you see is not what it is in the fullness, because it's in the spiritual realm. That's why we fight not against flesh and blood, because everything was created from the spiritual realm. And until we're able to see the spiritual warfare and the battle, you still out here living the flesh. Okay. So I like that, because it's separating the flesh in Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16. It's separating the flesh, the way you conduct yourself in the flesh versus walking in the spirit. Okay, now you get to Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 8. In Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 8, it says, "For ye are sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in Yah. Walk as children of the light." See, children of the light. These children are of the light. They are the spiritual children of Yah. Okay? And it telling you sometimes darkness, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are the light in Yah. Why? Because when Christ came, That's the whole ideal of him raising up Yeshua, okay, to redeem us all back to the Father. Okay. So when he redeemed us back, he was coming only for those that are lost, because they got exactly what you see in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 8. Ye were once sometimes darkness. We lost our way. And the whole idea of the lamb being slaughtered before the foundation of the world is because the Father knew that we would lose our way. But he had a ram in the bush. He had Yeshua HaMashiach to come back and redeem us back because we lost our way. Go back to Genesis chapter 3 and 15. Those are two different seeds he came down. Okay. One of the seeds, one was a serpent seed, but the one that wasn't a serpent seed is what lost its way. So he redeemed them back through Yeshua HaMashiach. That's the ram he always had in the bush. The lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. So it wasn't when we got down here the lamb was slaughtered. It was slaughtered for the time as this to redeem us back. See, that shows you man teaches these words in a way of their power, their control, their interpretation, their wisdom, their knowledge, their understanding, what they say. But Yah speaking in the spirit realm that gives no one the glory outside of he that's in the spirit. All this trash y'all doing, you go right ahead, baby. It's over. It's over. Okay. So I like that. In Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. In Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10, it reads, for we are his workmanship created in Christ. A lot of people, 99.23 billion, don't know who Christ is. Christ is the power. We are created in his power. Yeshua unto good works, which Yah has before ordained that we should walk in them. So these are the things he's telling us he created us in, good works. And we are workmanships. We are created in that power to do and to be about what Yah created us to be. Good works, which Yah has before ordained that we should walk therein. When did he ordain it? Before the foundation of the world. That's the same thing Yeshua was saying to say, hey, bro, it's written already. You can say what you want. It is written. And see what the world down here, when it come down to flesh, especially Judah, they don't want to take on the fact that everything is written. Why? Because they can control it. See, that's another thing you all don't understand. When Yah said it is written, that means hands off. You can't control nothing. Stand down. No one don't want to do that. They want to be able to control your wisdom, control your knowledge, control your understanding, control your feelings, your personal opinion, your mood swings. You want to control your mood swings, your emotions and everything. Everybody, this flesh want to control everything. But guess what? Heavens had got you wrote in and wrote out. Yeshua was telling Satan, it is already written. It is already written. And then the third time, I think, was it the fourth time, Satan pulled up, it is written. He said it after being told that by Yeshua. You're right. Even Satan knows that it's written. Where are you at? That means that you can't come onto this earth and try to buckle up on the Father and try to make him the lie so you can live the truth. And it ain't no such thing as your truth, Enoch truth, and all these lost books truth, or the Bible truth. Hey, the truth is in the word, and the word is in the truth. And the truth and the word is connected to the power, and the power is connected to the word. They work hand in hand. Where y'all at? I don't know, and I don't care. You're lost with a cause and without, because y'all still gonna be who he say he is. The I am. I can be this today, Deborah, this tomorrow. I'll be whatever I want, because I am the I am. I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that. Who tells him what to be? Well, what is he is, and he is all power. That's the problem with people. They deny the power. That's why they get away with everything that they're doing, because they do what? They deny the power. And denying the power means you erase the fact that Christ is the power of Yah. Christ is the part of Yah that came down as Emmanuel, meaning Yah with us. Yeshua was the Son of Man. Yah was the Son of Yah, his only begotten, his only begotten. His what? Who told anybody that Yah only had an only? He's letting you know I only had one that I made. That's my only begotten. He coming down with the Son of Man to work this one mission for me. And see, they don't understand stuff like that. See, that's another thing about walking in the spirit, and I just not thought of it just by just teaching it. That's a spiritual thing. You might be you might be teaching to a brick wall, and it's no need for it. So I pray to the Most High Yah that one is in this sees this video. That one, that's all it needs. That one, that's all it's about. That one, because that one is united with the oneness of Yah. Anybody else? That ain't for you. So I like that in Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 10. For we are his workmanship, created in the power, which Christ is the power. Christ is the power, the word, and the spirit of who Yah is. Yeshua is the Son of Man. Unto good works, which Yah has foreordained that we should walk in them. See, if we walk in the spirit, it melts down to the flesh. You see? That's why it was said, get the flesh under the subjection to the spirit, so it can represent Yah as well. But it's hard. And that's the lesson I'm teaching after this one. Because I realized something that he gave me, and I was supposed to have been adding it to this one, but I said, okay, Father, it's probably good to do that one separate. Yes, it is, because I did this video already. I redid it because of what revelation I got out of Matthews. I said, I'm going to pull that up in a whole different video. So I had to take my video down, and I'm redoing it now. Okay, so it in Ephesians chapter 5. In Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 and 16. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not after fools, but as wise. Wise, but as wise. What he mean about wise? See, another thing. There's two wisdom. There's two knowledge. There's two understanding. Okay. The reason why they didn't teach you the twos is because they want you to only know the one. The one keep you in captivity in your spirit mind and in your flesh mind. And until you understand, heavens has created the twos. Everything has to be measured by the twos. And if you're not able to measure them by the twos, you lost in the one. And this is why people don't understand Yah in his oneness. It's because they don't understand Christ. They don't understand Yeshua. They don't understand Yah. They don't understand anything because they thinking they can pull this thing off all these thousands of years that we can make it a oneness. No, baby. It's a two things going on. Okay. In Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15, there were twos. Two seeds. One against the other. What are y'all talking about? This stuff started way back. That's why he pulled up with Cain and Abel, too. Different seeds. See? To give you an example. Okay? So in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 through 16, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not after fools, but as wise. That means that spiritual wisdom, that spiritual wise. Verse 16, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Because the days are evil. So I like to say to you and each and every last one of you at the sound of this message, Yah right here is telling you the days are evil. And if you're not walking in the spirit at this time, then you're lost with the cause and without. And he'll have no problem with saying that. Because when you go over to the Romans chapter 1, he showed cut into them in chapter 1. Because what they did is they took unrighteous, unjust, ungodly, and they took it and they lived by that and that alone, knowing that the truth was in them all the time. You see? This letting you know that people, even to today, they will walk out, live out, die out. They're living in a way that the order of their flesh. And that's the only way they're going to want to live out it, because the flesh gives them this feeling of deception. When you say your worstest enemy, I can see why Satan can't be your worstest enemy. When your flesh is what you battle with, because there's no good in you. You can't see the light. You can't walk in the spirit because the spirit don't walk in you. See, that's what people don't understand. You cannot just get up and walk in the spirit. The spirit got to walk in you. What did David says? The word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. It's something that's in him that's walking in through him. You see, his way. So when you walking around here and you got in your mind that, oh, it's like this, I think of my mother and how I been ministering to her, and it'd be so good to her, it'd be so good, but it doesn't mean anything once I walk away. You see, and that's how I see it on this platform. But I got an awesome message after this one that will also support exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's telling you in verse 16, Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 16, redeeming the time, y'all. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. So make sure you understand walking in the spirit is something that lets you know that the spirit is walking in you. And that's the most high spirit. Okay. First John, in the book of First John, chapter 2 and verse 6. First John chapter 2 and verse 6. He that said that he abide in him ought himself also walk even as he walked. See, that's what I'm saying. People want to say that I have the Ruach HaKodesh. I know I'm saved. I know I'm the true Jew. I know I'm the true people. I know I'm the Hebrew Israelite. I know I'm the elect. You know all of this. But are you walking in that spirit? Even as he walked? Are you walking in that? You don't even know what it is to walk in the spirit. Because people think it's about just what they think and what they feel. And if you really tell the truth of the whole matter, just about everybody in the world think they heaven bound, that their destiny is in heaven, in the kingdom, residing on the throne probably. That's just the mindset of people. But they don't care how they're living it, and their example of the spiritual walk that they're walking is not matching their flesh way of living. You see, meaning the way it conducts itself, the way it trusts in the things of the world, and way it depends on the things of the world. Okay, so in First John chapter 2 and verse 6, it says, he that said he abide in him ought himself so walk even as he walked. So while you running around here saying you abide in him, he abide in him. What about you? How is that? Are you walking as he walked? Or you just running around here thinking because you on YouTube that makes you in there? 99.9. People have left the places of worship, the temples, the synagogues, the Catholics, all these different places of worship. And they going now on this YouTube and they thinking, hey, I'm in there because I'm listening to somebody, or I'm on that page and that don't include you, that excludes you. Because what we should have been doing all along was seeking ye the kingdom first. And if we ain't seeking that relationship with that spiritual one in us, and if he's in you, and you're looking for YouTube and all this mess on YouTube, and you're looking for somebody to validate the fact that you got him in you, that's a lie from the pit of hell. Because I'm the main one to tell you ain't got nothing if you ain't got him. And he would let you know what's what. So in the Second John chapter 1, verse 4, I rejoice greatly that I found of thy children walking in truth, as we have received a commandment from the Father. We were commanded to walk in truth. So it says, I rejoice greatly that I found of them, thy children walking in truth. So in Second John chapter 1 and verse 4, he was saying that he found the children walking in truth. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. As we have received the commandment from Yah, we will receive the commandment from Yah to walk in the spirit. And I'm great. He said that I'm rejoicing greatly that I have found the children that are walking in truth. That's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. But that's Second John. Let's go to Third John. In the book of Third John, he says something. It said something similar. I rejoiced greatly when the brethren came and testified of the truth that is in thee. See, this is what I'm trying to understand. People think that truth, they think that all this stuff is on the outside of you. No, baby. You can't testify on the outside. You can't testify and give glory for what's going on the outside. You better pull that bad boy from what's in the inside. And that's the spiritual realm. No, they don't want to do that because it gives Yah the glory. It gives Yah the praise. It exalts him. So they don't want to do that. And that's how all these religion has come forth. Because man want the glory. They want the honor. They want to be gods. Okay. So here in 3rd John, it says, in the 3rd John chapter 1, verse 3 and 4, it says, for I rejoice greatly when the brethren came and testified of the truth that is in thee. You see, even as thou walkest in the truth. He's actually letting you know what this brethren was testifying of the truth that was in thee. It's the same truth that I walk in. So I know that's what I try to explain to people. You can't be on this devil platform thinking that you are all that and all that, and then you sitting down looking at Deborah. I'm the last person you need to be listening to. Let me say that again. I'm the last person on all these devil platforms you need to be listening to. Because when I say something, I know that the power backs it up. I know that the word is right next to that power, and the power right next to that word. And if your ears are hearing it and not taking heed to none of it because you think that you are the gift to the world from Yah, then you messed up from the floor from birth before you even got down here. You better identify which spirit you represent, because that is all messed up from the floor. So with this young man, he's with this one here, 3rd John chapter 1, verse 3 and 4, he's actually telling you that testified of the truth that is in thee, even as thou walkest in the truth. He's letting you know he's telling the truth because it's in him. He testifying of it. You think people run around here and testify of the truth in them? No. They think they are the truth. That's why they can't testify of it. You have to give Yah the glory, because he is the truth. But no, I want the glory. That's what all these people on this devil platform do. They want the glory. They want the praise. They want the likes. They want the subscribers. And they want the funds. Because they feel that that's what it's all about, them. And they will not have it no other way. All you have to do is ask a question, and all of a sudden they get bent out of control because they can't handle the question you ask. Because they only want you to hear them and believe what they say, and that's it. Why? Because the whole platform that they have treated them like they were the God that was feeding them word. And that's how they took it. And that's how it is. And verse 4 says, I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth. Praise the Most High Yah. And he said, I have no greater joy than to hear. See, he heard that my children walk in truth, because he's saying that the brother was testifying. So his testimony alone spoke of the glory of Yah, giving Yah the praise and recognizing who Yah is and what is it. Yah was surrounded by his testimony, which was the truth. So this is what 3rd John verse 1 and verse 3 and 4 is talking about. You see, and you ain't gonna get too many people lining it up like that because they think it's supposed to be about them. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in, and I hope each and every last one of you received something and you got something out of this message. And the message is walk in the Spirit. Now, what you don't understand, walking meaning your spirit walking in the Spirit of Yah, and it should be able to pour out into your flesh. It's not something you walk in your flesh and say it and you believe it and you teach yourself. No, that's not going to get you because you got to understand walking, telling you your spirit to walk in the Spirit of Yah. Not walk like your natural. You wrap your head up. You put your fringes on. All those things on the outside of the flesh does not have no connection to what is in the spirit. That walking in the spirit is an inner man thing. And whatever you do in that spirit with Yah, it will spill over to who you are in the flesh. So I, Sister Deborah, hope you got something out of it because I did. Shalom and shalom.